It was funny because for about a year after Green Lantern had come and gone and all that stuff, and we were both single, we went on a double date she was on a date with another guy and I was on a date with another girl, and that was the most awkward date for their respective part because we were just like fireworks.
Could one of Hollywood's most adored funny men be hiding a complex and not so funny reality behind closed doors?
He's my friend first and foremost still, not just in our history, but in everyday life. He is my friend first, and that's I think that's the secret to happiness.
That's what some fans and insiders have been suggesting about Ryan Reynolds and his seemingly picture-perfect relationship with Blake Lively.
There isn't anything you can do that they can't do better, faster, and without disappointing women everywhere.
While they often appear to be the ultimate power couple, rumors have surfaced claiming that lurking beneath those cheerful red carpet smiles is a dynamic driven by jealousy, control, and hidden drama. Of course, none of us are camped out in their living room to see what goes on. So everything you're about to hear is either rooted in published reports, tabloid chatter, or hardcore fan speculation. Still, the tales are intriguing enough that they've drawn plenty of attention, leaving us with a question. Are Ryan and Blake truly the golden couple, or have they been glossing over a more turbulent reality?
It was hard not to love the movie because you guys are so beautiful to watch that I was just like,
well, hello.
I was just like.
When Ryan and Blake first met on the set of Green Lantern, the spark between them seemed instantaneous, perhaps a bit too instantaneous for some. At the time, rumors were swirling that both had been in other relationships, and fans quickly speculated that they might have overlapped. Critics pointed out that Blake had recently split from one high-profile romance and supposedly rebounded in record time with Ryan. Meanwhile, whispers about Ryan's past marriage to Scarlett Johansson painted a picture of a man wrestling with insecurity and a streak of jealousy that some say contributed to that marriage's downfall. The official story is that their new relationship blossomed after their respective breakups, but certain corners of the internet remain unconvinced. Many point to Ryan's alleged jealousy as a recurring theme in his love life. Reports claim that, in his previous marriage, he was unsettled by Scarlett's success, the attention she received, and her interactions with other men on set. Some fans believe that these issues carried over into his dynamic with Blake.
I've seen her go into a rage spiral. Oh my God. And most people's violence with her, it's just baking.
In the early days, tabloids buzzed with stories asserting that Ryan demanded to know her filming schedules, worried about her male co-stars, and even found ways to limit who she hung out with off the clock. Whether these stories were sensationalized or not, they planted the seed of doubt for those who can't help but side-eye any couple that seems too perfect in public. Then there's the question of Blake's own history. Some of her critics argue she also has a track record of quickly hopping from one relationship to the next. Why should we single out Ryan as the controlling one, they ask, when Blake herself has apparently fallen for several co-stars and carried on hush-hush connections? The speculation goes that maybe both of them have a pattern of blending their professional and personal lives so seamlessly, lines get blurred.
I never thought that I'd be planning my wedding in like a dark alley somewhere, but it turned out that way. It was really quite secretive, and I felt like I was doing a drug deal without all the the fun.
Still, the rumor mill keeps circling back to Ryan. The constant theme? He's a warm and witty showman in public, but can turn protective and allegedly controlling once the cameras stop rolling. Adding to this drama is Ryan's massive lineup of business ventures. The man is everywhere, from a gin brand to a phone service to a soccer club in the UK.
Aviation American Gin slogan, take one. Aviation American Gin, an illusory and fleeting sense of well-being.
At first, people were intrigued by this comedic actor branching out. But as more and more lawsuits and investigations supposedly cropped up around these projects, whether regarding Mint Mobile's merger or Wrexham AFC's shaky financial footing, fans began to wonder if Ryan was in over his head. Some say the stress from these business moves filters back home, leading to tension that might be fueling controlling behaviors. If you've ever juggled too many projects at once, you know how easy it is to snap at loved ones, even when you don't mean to. Critics believe that's exactly what's been happening behind closed doors.
It's nearly fall, which means the entire universe will once again be losing its mind for pumpkin spice.
Ryan invests so much energy into shaping a media image and business empire that he becomes hyper-focused on controlling every last detail, including Blake's professional decisions. The "it ends with us" fiasco has become another flashpoint. Blake signed on to star in this romantic drama, and fans were initially excited to see her tackle a role that digs into relationships and emotional turmoil. But somewhere along the way, rumor has it that Ryan became heavily involved, far more than most spouses would be. Some fans claim that as soon as Ryan sensed a possible chemistry between Blake and her director or co-star, he stepped in with suggestions, requests, and allegedly, ultimatums. Reports have surfaced claiming that Blake's entire demeanor shifted overnight. One moment she was exchanging lighthearted banter off set. The next, she acted distant and cold, as if a switch had been flipped. This sudden pivot has been interpreted by some as a reaction to Ryan's jealousy, or a direct result of him demanding she rein it in. Whether that's fair speculation or wild exaggeration is a matter of debate.
Are you happy?
No. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm just curious.
I wasn't.
That debate only heated up when behind-the-scenes details emerged about rewrites, daily schedules, and rumored meltdown moments. A few insiders hinted that Ryan wanted specific love scenes toned down and certain dialogues removed, especially anything referencing a more mature or intimate theme. What's particularly striking about these claims is how they clash with Ryan's own comedic brand, which often includes brash humor, references to sex, and moments of borderline raunchy gags. Some spectators find it hypocritical that the guy who jokes about his private parts in interviews or filmed extended intimate sequences for Deadpool might be squeamish about his wife playing romantic roles. Others argue it's simply a matter of Ryan not wanting another man to be the object of her on-screen affection.
I appreciate all you've done to help us catch up and the extra work and energy you've put in. It has not gone unnoticed. Lively responded, "Thanks so much for this text. I appreciate your empathy and I give it in return." Lively's camp not responding to Baldoni's website directly, but her attorney saying after court, "We are confident that once all the evidence is submitted in this matter, Miss Lively will prevail."
Could it be an overprotective impulse driven by insecurity? Or is it all a blown-up rumor swirling around a normal protective husband? Part of what makes this story so compelling is the contrast between Ryan's big public persona and the darker allegations creeping up around him. Everyone knows his witty social media comebacks, his comedic jabs at fellow celebrities, and that laid-back family man image he projects online. He jokes about fatherhood, he roasts himself more than he roasts others, and fans have historically found it all endearing. Yet, if the rumors are to be believed, there's an undercurrent of tension that he struggles to hide. Some watchers claim his humor is a defensive mechanism, a sort of shield to deflect from real issues happening at home. Others dismiss that idea altogether, chalking up the entire narrative to bored fans who love manufacturing drama for Hollywood A-listers.
Ryan Reynolds was spotted in New York City yesterday in what is the most obviously staged paparazzi shoot I've ever seen in my entire life. One, why does it look like every single poster in this video is made by the same person, the exact same tape, and they were all using the exact same fucking marker? Also, when you watch the video, not a single phone in sight. It's 2025. If you are waiting outside of a hotel to meet your favorite celebrity, you are obviously gonna have your phone because you want to take a selfie. And I think we all know by now that celebrities call the paparazzi on themselves like all the time. And I think it's kind of funny and honestly a little bit offensive that Ryan Reynolds actually thought we were all gonna fall for this. I mean, come on.
As for Blake, the conversation isn't entirely one-sided. Skeptics note that she's no stranger to hooking up with co-stars or jumping into high-profile relationships at lightning speed. There's also talk of how she might have contributed to the friction, perhaps flirting on set or failing to keep boundaries that Ryan was comfortable with. However, supporters argue that this line of thinking veers into victim-blaming territory, if indeed she's facing real controlling behavior. The truth, if it lies anywhere, is probably far more nuanced. Maybe it's less about a villain and a victim, and more about two people navigating a marriage in the relentless spotlight of celebrity culture. Meanwhile, Tabloids and certain gossip blogs have a field day with every tiny piece of new info. Whenever Blake is spotted without her wedding ring, even if she left it at home for cleaning, the rumor mill goes into overdrive, insisting a divorce announcement is imminent. Some so-called insiders claim that trust issues run so deep between them that they've tried couples therapy behind the scenes. Others state that everything is fine and that the couple simply sees therapy as a form of healthy maintenance.
With his art, his heart, his philanthropy, his humor, his integrity, his unmatched work ethic, his self-deprecating levity, his hard-earned depths, and his grace. So many of those stunning qualities come from his homeland, Canada, and giving back to the country that gave him his life is critical to who he is as a person. Can you guys hear me? I feel like...
Ryan and Blake themselves often joke around on social media, and they've even commented vaguely on speculation, usually with a dash of sarcasm. But the jokes never truly confirm or deny the swirling rumors. In public interviews, Ryan frequently appears charming, dropping quick one-liners that deflect deeper questions. He might say something zany or off the wall to change the subject anytime a reporter pokes into his personal life. Blake often steps in with her own brand of humor, mocking or lightly teasing him in a playful way.
I'm so sorry. Just 1 second. Sorry. I'm so sorry. It's Blake. It's Blake. We always promised each other that we would answer in the middle. So, hey, what's about you?
Hi, baby.
Hi.
Is not okay time?
No, it's fine. We're at Kimmel. We're just rehearsing. It's rehearsal.
For fans, it's part of their appeal, this comedic couple bantering like best friends. But it also leaves watchers wondering if these comedic deflections are carefully orchestrated. Is it just their style, or is there something they'd rather not address? More questions swirl around the business side of things. If Ryan is truly controlling, does it extend to Blake's brand partnerships and roles she's offered? Some fans suspect he weighs in on which scripts she should accept, how her image should evolve, and even which events she can attend solo. There's also the matter of social circles. For example, a rumored friction point was Blake's friendship with Taylor Swift. Reports claimed Ryan found Taylor's Girl Squad drama immature and didn't want Blake to waste time with that crowd. Of course, it's possible that he just wasn't interested in that scene. Or maybe he genuinely believed it could invite negative press. But to onlookers, it fed the narrative of a husband micromanaging his wife's social life. The Wrexham AFC storyline only adds another layer. Ryan has poured millions into reviving an old Welsh football club with minimal return, at least financially. Some watchers speculate that tension grew because he's often away on soccer business, while Blake, now a mother of 4, is left juggling home life. Then there's the reality show aspect. He's been heavily featured in the docuseries about Wrexham, but Blake is noticeably absent. Fans who champion the controlling husband theory jump on that as evidence that she's expected to prop him up when it's his project, yet he doesn't necessarily extend the same energy for hers. Others say she's likely just not interested in soccer, so what's the big deal?
But then Blake shows up uninvited, I might add.
Oh my goodness, that is unbelievable.
I thought she's just been pounding beer, and it turns out that she's like 6 months pregnant.
Regardless, these conflicting narratives fuel endless online debates. Another debate focuses on the question, if Ryan's schedule is so jam-packed, how could he possibly be that controlling? Some fans point out that controlling behavior doesn't necessarily mean physically monitoring someone 24/7. It can be subtle, like controlling finances, limiting the roles your partner can take, or fostering emotional dependency. Allegedly, Blake has had fewer prominent roles in the past few years, though that may also be attributed to her choice to focus on motherhood. Still, certain watchers read more into it, pointing to old interview snippets where Blake talked about wanting to do more serious work, but ended up stepping back. There's no conclusive proof, just fans and gossip blogs weaving a story that might or might not align with reality. All this leads to the "it ends with us" controversy, which has ironically become a microcosm of their rumored tensions. The premise of the film involves complicated relationships and emotional arcs, and some argue it mirrors real life more closely than either star wants to admit. For a while, behind-the-scenes updates sounded normal. Script changes, production hurdles, the usual Hollywood shuffle. But then, there were allegations that Blake suddenly demanded new guidelines for on-set interactions. rumors of formal requests to limit how certain scenes were shot or how personal the conversation could get with the director led to a flurry of speculation. Did Ryan orchestrate these demands? Some say yes, some say no, and nobody outside their inner circle knows for sure. As soon as these allegations took over the blogosphere, fans started dividing themselves into camps. One side thinks Ryan is a comedic genius, and that talk of him being controlling is sensational nonsense crafted by gossip outlets. The other side sees this as the tip of an iceberg, hypothesizing that Hollywood is riddled with toxic behavior masked by charm and humor. Their argument? Remember how beloved certain celebrities were before all those shocking revelations? Hollywood excels at creating illusions, and we might just be watching another example of that. Ironically, neither Ryan nor Blake has publicly lashed out at these rumors in any formal way. No lawsuits against tabloids for defamation. No lengthy statements denouncing false allegations. Instead, they keep up their brand of self-deprecating humor and family-friendly social media presence. And maybe that's all we need to know. They could be a normal couple grappling with life's pressures on a colossal stage. Or they could be hiding a dynamic that's far more toxic than any comedic tweet reveals. Only time and more behind-the-scenes leaks will clarify whether these rumors have merit or are just part of the Hollywood rumor mill that has existed since the dawn of show business. So what do you think? Is this just another case of online sleuths, stretching random anecdotes into a big conspiracy? Or are there real red flags waving behind the Reynolds' lively mansion doors? It's tough to believe everything we read, but it's also hard to ignore the consistent theme of rumored control and jealousy that keeps popping up. For a couple who exudes unity and wit in public, they've generated an unusual amount of chatter about behind-the-scenes turmoil. At the end of the day, we may never get a definitive answer, unless, of course, more concrete evidence surfaces or one of them decides to set the record straight. For now, the best we can do is watch, wait, and wonder. After all, Hollywood has taught us that not all that sparkles is gold, and the brightest public smiles sometimes hide the darkest private storms. Whether Ryan and Blake turn out to be the real deal or just another couple struggling to keep up appearances, they've certainly captured our curiosity. If you've got your own theories or inside scoop on this puzzling situation, jump into the comments and let everyone know where you stand. Are they the epitome of a playful, loving partnership? Or does this story reveal cracks that no amount of witty banter can fix? Let's keep the conversation rolling, because where there's smoke in Hollywood, there's almost always a fire.